family either. There's no script for this show. But I do want to say something. You know, what we felt like when we started this contest, one of the reasons we thought it was important was obviously to get younger people involved, which I think is critical. But the other thing is that sometimes it's more impactful and powerful when you hear young people sending this message and saying that you need to support the river and do what you can, because frankly it's you that are going to inherit the problems that my generation and generations before have created. So that the youth have more at stake really than anybody else. And so we really felt like we needed to create a platform for kids to have a say. There's your opportunity to send your message to the older generations, to tell us what we need to do, and then also obviously inspire your peers to do the same. So we hope we've accomplished that, and I'm looking forward to next year and see what kind of submissions we get next year, because as we mentioned, they keep getting better and better. So, well, Andy, let's go ahead and we'll wrap up this section of the show about the PSA contest and show Andy's video from 2008 that won the high school in our first competition. So let's go ahead and show that video.
In today's fast-paced world, sometimes it's easy for all of us to forget our responsibilities in society. Vital resources we use every day can start to seem like a commodity. Resources like water. Many of us see the St. Johns River flowing every day. Plenty of water, right? How often do you see things like this? It just doesn't seem important in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we waste water all the time and the world keeps on spinning. Think about this though. What if we didn't have the water to waste? What if we ran out of water? You would regret not saving it then, wouldn't you? Before you waste another drop, remember, what if someday you weren't able to?
That was good, Andy. You want to say a few words about inspiration for that, or?
Yeah, that was something that I did really early on, and that kind of just came out of me. I did some ideas, wrote down some things that I figured would look good on the video, and that's how it turned out. And I thought I like my submission from this year more than that, but I mean that was good for the time.
Yeah, it was great. Well, and also in 2008 we were really focused on the issue of taking water out of the river and the importance of water conservation, because if you will recall out there watching, that we had this big fight between Central Florida and North Florida about taking water out of the river to use for irrigation. And so Riverkeeper was at the forefront of trying to prevent that from happening. And so some of the kids in that contest really focused on the water shortage problems that we have and the importance of conserving water and what would happen if we continue to waste water the way that we currently do. And so I hope that it helped people to see the importance of conserving, because it's still an issue, obviously. And by the way, Seminole County recently has started building the pipeline to the river to take water out. So they haven't given up on that. We just hope that we've maybe delayed future or stopped future projects from taking place.
And we had a member actually film that, and you can go to our blog riverhugger.com and see that in the works. It's pretty destructive to see.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty sad to see all those cypress trees along the shoreline, the river just north of Lake Monroe, coming down to make this transmission path where they can bring this pipeline in and suck water from the river. And it's water that's going to be just used for irrigation. It's not even at this time being planned to be used for drinking water. It's just for irrigation. So it just shows you that if we can conserve water and use water more efficiently, and hopefully Andy's video inspired people to do that we can avoid these type of things like taking water out of the river and let that water be there for it to nourish the river. So that's what we're hoping. One thing, before we wrap up, Andy, I would like just tell us a little about yourself. I mean, what are you doing now, and what do you hope to be one day?
Well, right now I'm in college at UNF, and I'm in the business school. I've been doing film for a long time. I did this film with Blair Richardson under AB Positive Productions, and that's something that's been really nice. I did a lot of work with her this summer. right now I'm just trying to focus on academics, and I'm not really sure what my ultimate goal is right now. I was so certain, you know, for a long time that it was just going to be like director in Hollywood. You know, I think I have a lot of things to learn about myself before I can really decide what I want to do with my life. But, you know, I'm going to keep making film and, you know, just do my thing, be a student for now, and decide as I go.
Yeah, well, I hope you do stay in film in some capacity because you're so good at it. So, and I think you've touched a lot of people with the videos that you've entered into our contest, so thank you for doing that. Do you want to plug where people can see your other videos that you and Blair have done? Is there a where can we go to see them?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, AB Positive, and you can find that just by searching AB Positive Productions. I also have some stuff on my Vimeo page, but you can find my stuff at AndyGLeverett.com also.
All right. Well, go out and check out AndyGLeverett.com or go search for AB Positive Productions on Facebook, and you can see some of the other work that Andy's done. I've seen some of his other stuff too. It's really good. So I'd encourage you to do that. And then also these videos, if you want to see them again, you can obviously, Andy actually helps us record these shows and put them up on our YouTube page, and so you can see them on our YouTube channel. But you can also go to our blog that Kelly mentioned. In the blogs, you can access it through our website, stjohnsriverkeeper.org, but it's riverhugger.com. And you can go there, and we've actually have all of those. Actually, no, you know, all of the videos are now on the St. John's Riverkeeper website as well. So they are. You can go. I think it's actually on the first thing you come to. The graphic says PSA contest winners, and you can go and click on it, learn about the contest, see this year's winners, but also previous winners as well. So I'd encourage you to go to the site and check it out because they really are great videos.
I'm always amazed at what we get back. I've never even used a camera. So it's amazing what resources these guys have at their fingertips.
I know, they really do a fantastic job. So next year, look for it. We do this in the spring. So if you are an aspiring filmmaker, you have a camera and you just want to enter the contest, if you're a high school or college student, or if you're an adult, you know, keep an eye out for it because we're going to hopefully get these out to the public next year and have an even more successful contest next year. So thanks for coming, Andy. We're going to wrap up the show by talking to Kelly about some things that are coming up on the horizon for Riverkeeper. Give us an idea of some of the fun things that are coming up in the fall.
We have some river cleanups coming up. There's one actually this Saturday, so you can go to our website. It's an international cleanup, and we have 3 sites that Riverkeeper volunteers are captains of, but there's sites all over the city to help clean up the different bodies of water, the ocean and the riverside.
What's the date on that? Because a lot of the people that'll be watching probably will see the show after.
That's true.
Because it airs on Friday and the cleanup is Saturday, and then it'll air subsequently on
the cleanup is September 25th from 8 a.m. until 11.
So if you missed that, there's other opportunities to get involved, and Kelly will tell you about them, of course.
Definitely. There's we have an events calendar of stuff coming up. We're doing stuff, a book fair in Central Florida, an old Enterprise Festival in Central Florida. So we're kind of all over the place in the next couple of months, so definitely check us out. But I definitely want to talk about something that I did last Friday, which was amazing. We partnered with Jacques Cousteau's granddaughter, Alexandra Cousteau, on her expedition, and she's actually traveling all over the country and highlighting different water issues and nonprofits that are working on those. And so she contacted us, and we did a cleanup with her and her expedition crew last Friday. And I have a picture that I brought with me, and there's the group that we actually did a cleanup on Lake Monroe. We got quite a bit of garbage, lots of recyclables, lots of glass. And we went out on canoes. And
there's Kelly on the right, flexing her muscle.
My cleanup muscle.
And then which one is Alexandra?
She's the one in the black shirt, right in the left-hand corner, yeah. So that was a really cool event. And
who are some of those folks that are in the picture?
We partnered with Eco Action, which is a cleanup group in Central Florida. Every single Sunday, they go out in some body of water connected to the St. Johns River and do canoe cleanups. It's a pretty amazing group of people. We also partnered with Keep Seminole Beautiful and Friends of the Wekiva, which is a group down in Central Florida that are working to protect the Wekiva River, which connects to the St. Johns River. So lots of fun people came out, lots of volunteers who had never heard of any of us and left with lots of knowledge, and it was a really great event.
Well, and that's something that a lot of people I don't think understand either, is that, I mean, technically St. John's Riverkeeper's charge is to protect the entire watershed, and that the St. John's, of course, runs from It's 310 miles long, and the watershed is about 8,800 square miles. So it's a huge watershed, and we do try to have activity. While we're based in Jacksonville, of course, we do try to have activities in Central Florida and try to engage people in those areas as well. And Kelly's been doing a great job of that because it's a huge river, and there's a lot of people that need to chip in and help protect it.
And it's such a different portion down there. It's so different than anything we see every day in Jacksonville. So I definitely encourage everybody to make some travels down there.
Yeah, and actually, Kelly, we've talked about on previous shows about getting out and exploring the river. This is a good time of year, of course, to do it.
The best.
And you actually explored a pretty cool place that's in the watershed. It's not always thought of as being part of the river, but it is part of the watershed. And tell us a little bit about your trip this past weekend.
Definitely. Well, I'm a campaholic, so I'll confess that. So I kicked off my camping season last weekend, and my friends and I went to Silver River State Park, which is an amazing park. It's definitely one of my top parks. Camping-wise, there's so much to do there. We didn't even do it all. And the camping sites are beautiful. They're tucked into the woods, each site. There's firewood. Everything you can need is there. And you can go down to the Silver River and paddle up to the spring head, and it's so gorgeous. I can't even put into words how beautiful it was. And I brought a picture, but it doesn't do much justice. But you can see the spring, the beautiful blue water there. I think I saw 20 different species of birds, juvenile and adult species, which was pretty amazing. And we saw lots of alligator, hence why you can't swim. You can only paddle. Some of them were hiding rather close, and we would just paddle really fast past them. But it was a really gorgeous area, and it actually connects to the largest tributary of the river, and that's the Ocklawaha. And it's in the Ocala National Forest, so it's right in Ocala. Really gorgeous place. There's lots of springs around there, including Juniper Springs, which we also visited, and is so beautiful. Each spring I go to, every time, I just am in awe, and they're so beautiful, and they're all so different but the same. So it's always fun for me to go kind of hopping around the different springs.
Well, and I should mention that Kelly now has a column in EU magazine. If you've ever seen EU, it's a free publication that's at a lot of different places, just like they have the Folio weekly. There's little rack stands where you can find in different businesses and places around town. Pick one up, because each month in the EU, Kelly has a column about getting out and exploring the river. You want to talk a little bit about your
Sure.
column?
Yes, it's so much fun. They're so generous to let us have a column. And each month I pick a topic that is relevant to that time of year. And this last month, I believe, was the spring. So I highlighted different springs that I've been to. My favorite, De Leon Springs, so write that one down if you haven't been. They have a sugar mill where you can make pancakes right on the table. It's pretty cool. I mean, where else can you do that? And then next month is going to be Camping Issue, which is definitely relevant, and it highlights a couple parks that you can go camping at. One of which is Camp Chewinwall. It's about 20 miles away, so it's really close, and it's on Black Creek. It's gorgeous. So definitely check that out and get some camping tips and plan a trip.
Well, and as we've talked about on previous shows, our guidebook, the Get Your Feet Wet guidebook to the St. John's, you can learn about a lot of these parks. Unfortunately, the guidebook only goes from Palatka to the mouth. We couldn't include everything in this one guidebook, or it would have been like this thick.
Yeah.
We do plan to eventually have a second guidebook that's the southern parts of the river. But the guidebook has so many great parks, and we do pull from that guidebook to include information in this column that Kelly does. But pick one up. You can get one on our website, and it's just a great resource to learn about parks, where to go. It has a wildlife guide, and it has a lot of tips and information about how you can make the most out of your experience. It has games and activities you can do with your family. So it's a great resource to get out and explore the river. And that's one thing this time of year especially, we really encourage people, get out, and as I like to say, get to know your St. Johns River, because by exploring it and experiencing it, I think it really helps to get people motivated to protect it as well. Well, we're going to wrap the show up. I want to thank Andy for coming on the show and sharing your videos with us. We certainly appreciate that. And thanks, Kelly, for all you do. If you want to learn more about St. John's Riverkeeper, go to our website and learn more about the events. Thanks for joining us, and see you next month.
And our mission is to help protect the river.